Hello viewers, welcome once again to my channel on Cat Africa Live, a channel that brings you insights of African politics. I've been always your guy, De-Graft Amoako. Today we are live. We are live on Cat Africa Live. There is this problem, or there is this issue that has been bothering me, and I decide to share it with my viewers so that we can discuss. Many Africans hold the view that Africans are not doing enough to catch up with the Western countries in terms of development. They are not catching up. We are not catching up because of bad leadership, corrupt leaders, and greedy. And others also hold the thought that we are not catching up to the Western countries in terms of development because the Western countries has implemented some policies that are not favorable to African countries. So it's two terms. Many think African countries are not catching up to the Western world because Africa has a very bad leadership, corrupt leaders, and greedy leaders that are not helping to develop the African continent. And others also think that the Western countries has implemented policies that are not favorable to African countries, and that has also contributed to the hustle and the suffering of Africans. So today, I'm putting this question that, do you think Africans, we are the cause of our own problems? Do you think Africans are the cause of our own problems? That is a topic I want us to discuss. So if you can share your thoughts about this particular issue, do you think Africans, we are the cause of our own problem? Because most of the times I hear from people that African leaders are greedy, African leaders are corrupt. But I always ask myself that what is so wrong about Africans that since independence, it seems almost all African countries haven't gotten non-corrupt leader. You get it? Why is it that sometimes a leader will be in opposition campaigning of corruption, campaigning of bad leadership, campaigning of a whole lot of issue, but exactly he climbed to power, then he's also doing the same as his predecessor? What is really the main issue? Because it's really worrying. It's really worrying. That's why today I'm bringing to you, this is the question where I want to ask that, what are Africans the cause of our own problem? Are we the cause of our own problem? Because it seems we keep coming back, and one thing I have realized also is that people think we keep pushing blames to the Western countries, that they are the cause of our problem, they are the one not helping us, they are the one who are not putting policies that are going to favor Africa to develop. And other Africans also think that our leaders haven't done enough. What do you think? You can share your view in the comment section and I'll reply to you, because it seems the world is changing, and these days everybody is improving in technology, everybody is improving in infrastructure, when it comes to education infrastructure, when it comes to health infrastructure. But most African countries are still struggling to to come up with what they will eat, how they will so it has made most African youth now running to Europe, now running to America just for greener pasture. So do you think Africans, are we the cause of our own problems? Do you think our leaders are the ones who are not doing enough? I want you to share your view. Do you think our leaders are the ones who are not doing enough? Our leaders are not doing enough? Or do you think the Western countries are not helping our leaders to develop our countries? What do you think? What do you think? You can let me know, because this channel, why I created this channel is to trumpeting the goodness of Africa, trumpeting how we can make this continent great again. That is my mission, just to fight for development in our continent, because Africa have everything. Africa have the resources. Africa have both human resources and natural resources. We can do everything, but why do we keep suffering? What is the problem that is hindering Africans to be great? With the resources we have, with the land, and most of African countries have a very fertile land. Wherever, in Ghana here, wherever you put food or a seed, you get it. You try to, how should I put it? Wherever you put something, it grows. Our weather is crop friendly. Our weather is good. So food shouldn't have been a problem for African countries when it comes to food, because wherever you grow food, you harvest it. Wherever you grow food, it's just wherever you have to go anywhere, and you can be a farmer. You can farm at anywhere in Africa, almost all the countries. But most of the times you hear from news that there is hunger there, there is not much water here, there is not much this year, there is not much this year. What is really the issue? What is really the issue? So I'm putting this question to you. Are Africans the cause of our own problems? Is Africans the cause of our own problems? Or the Western countries are not putting things right for Africa to develop? Because most of the times, it's very sad. It's very sad. Leaders have come, leaders have gone, and still we haven't been able to put things in place. Most leaders, when they are in opposition, as I said it earlier, when they are in opposition, they campaign massively about development. They campaign when they come, the policies they will put in place, and at the time they climb to power, you realize there is nothing in for the citizens. You realize they will be buying this V8 big cars, and they will be having huge protocol escorts, but at the end of the day they will go out power without doing anything, without achieving anything. What are they not telling us? Is it hard to put infrastructures in place to develop Africa, or is it hard for us to go to the international market and trade, to put up equal trade? They have to tell us if the fault is not from them or is it from them, because it's very interesting how we have everything, we have resources, but we are not developing. So you can share your view. Are Africans the cause of our own problems? Are we the cause of our own problems? Do you think we are the cause of our own problems? Or do you think the Western countries having put up policies that are going to help Africans to develop? You can share your view and I'll read it, even if not live. After I finish, I can reply to you. So you can share your view and you can share your thoughts, because we are all here to make Africa great again. We want to put this continent in front of us. We want this continent. We don't want people to run away from the continent and go and seek for greener pasture. I have friends who are now want to run away from Ghana because the system is hard. They are not getting enough money or enough money that can sustain them within a month. So they have to gather money to run away to countries, even countries whom are not that developed, or whom human resources, countries like people are running to China, people are running to Singapore, people are running to countries that if Ghana or other countries other African countries put their things in place, you are not going to say I'm going to live in China, or you are not going to say you are going to live in Indonesia. Countries like Indonesia, you are not going to live there. You get it? So I want us to all share our views. Are Africans, are we the cause of our own problems, or do you think the Western countries have not helped us to develop, or have put policies in place where people cannot, Africans cannot go on international market? Because now we export all our raw materials to world markets. We export everything. We don't refine anything. So we were expecting Western countries who are doing well economically to say, oh, okay, Africa, you have the raw materials and we have the finances. So we are going to help you to put up factories or industries to refine your raw materials and export to us. But at the end of the day, that's not what is happening. We export all our raw materials to the world market, and at the end of the day, we get peanuts out from our raw materials. Ghana cocoa and Ivory Coast cocoa go to world markets, and if they are telling you how much they make out from cocoa within a year and how much Ivory Coast and Ghana make within the same year, it's not up to even 3%, or it's not up to even 1%. We don't make so much from our raw materials. So what is the issue? What can't Africans do? What can't Africans do? For corrupt politicians, here we have some. We have politicians who think building our own factories, since when Ghana hasn't gotten oil or hasn't found oil, there was a refinery, Tema Oil refinery was working. Exactly, Ghana started having oil, or they found oil and started pumping oil. The Tema Oil refinery collapsed. You would think about it and you would understand, why did it collapse? Is it they collapsed it so that they can send the raw materials outside for somebody greediness to benefit out from it? And this thing is happening in a lot of African countries. Most of African countries can't find their own raw materials. Most of African countries can't do anything. We import everything. We import even matches. We import blades. We import everything. So that is something which is not really helping Africa. That is really something that is not helping Africa. So let's discuss this topic and see what is the way forward. Things are not going right for most African countries, and it has become more difficult for most African countries because people are really, especially after the COVID, people are really struggling. So a lot of people want to run away to Europe, want to run away to US. A lot of things are happening. So that's why I'm asking this question: what can we do? Or are Africans, are we the cause of our own problems? Do you think Africans are the cause of our own problems? Do you think, or you think the Western countries are the cause of our own problems? That is something that is really bothering me. That's why I decided to bring it here for us to talk about it. I'm planning to be coming here every Sunday for live feed, to give you live commentary about whatever happening across Africa. And one topic I will also love us to discuss is what country have you been in Africa and your experiences? What country have you been in Africa, and through that journey, what have been your experiences? I've been to Kenya, and my experience has been there was a cultural shock, but we were having, Kenya and Ghana were also having similarities. When it comes to our language, there are some similarities. When it comes to our food, there are some similarities. So our next topic will be, which African country have you been to and what are your experiences? I'll share my experience I got from Kenya, and I'll also be happy if you can share your experience you have in other African countries. I want us to bridge the cultural gap. These are things that can help Africans to unite. You get it? These are things that can help Africans to unite. We have to bridge our cultural gap. We have to start knowing each other. We have a lot of Ghanaians who don't know anything about Kenya, especially Kenya music, Kenya food, Kenya what do we call it? Kenya landscape, anything about Kenya. We have Ghanaians who don't know, and we have Kenyans who also don't know anything about Ghana. But we live in the same continent. But we don't know anything about each other. So I'll be happy for you to share your experience in other African countries, and we will start bridging the gap. Now Nigerians are using music to bridge the gap between Africans. Now most of Africans can relate to Nigerian music. For years now, Ghana and Nigeria has we are talking of Ghana or Nigerian culture. Most of Africans knows it, but when it comes to other African culture, we don't know, because we don't watch their movies, we don't listen to their music. So it's difficult for you to get to know other African countries like Angola, like maybe Botswana, let's say Mauritius. So it's about time we have to know each other. We have to learn. We have to put our pride aside and start learning each other. You get it? So that will be my next topic of your experience in other African countries. You can share with me and we will discuss about it. So for today, I'm bringing the topic of do you think Africans, we are the cause of our own problems? Do you think Africans are the cause of our own problems? Do you think our leaders are naturally corrupt and greedy, or the Western countries has put up measures or policies that are not favorable to the African countries? What do you think? What do you think of it? I'll be happy for you to share your view, and I'll be happy for me to also come and reply to you. We are going through a lot in Africa when it comes to development, when it comes to infrastructures, when it comes to health infrastructures. We are going through a lot. So we want to know where the problems comes in, where the problems comes from. We have been complaining about bad leadership for centuries. We have been complaining about bad leadership. So the youth today will also become bad leaders to the next generation. That is what is happening. We are always pursuing blames to the other people who couldn't achieve. So if we are talking of the other leaders didn't achieve a lot and other leaders are Western puppets, the next generation are also going to say the current leaders are Western puppets. That's what is happening. So we keep pushing blames to the next leader. We keep pushing blames to the next leader. So it's about time we have to think outside the box. What is really happening in Africa? What is really happening in Africa? What is the way forward? Because pushing blames to other African countries, other African leaders, it's tiring. You get it? This will present himself as the angel, blame this leader, he's doing this. He will get the opportunity, and when he comes, you realize it's the same thing. Nothing changes. Inflation will go up, foreign exchange will shoot up. We will still be exporting goods. No one is building industries. No one is doing anything. So we keep recycling our leaders and recycling the same issue. So what actually is the problem? Are we the cause of our own problem? Or are the Western countries putting measures to make sure Africa don't develop? That is something I want to understand. That is something I will be happy if we can talk about it on this particular channel. I will be happy. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button so that anytime I will upload any content, you will be notified, and anytime I will come on live, you get the notification. This is the third time I've been live, but I'm trying to make it consistent so that I can come online maybe every weekend, which is Sunday. I'll be happy if I can come online every Sunday, and I'll appreciate if you also have time to come and watch. And every Sunday, if I have the time, I'll communicate with the time within this weekend, because there are some days I won't be available. So anytime I will come online, I'll come live. I think I'll design a poster and put it in the community so that you know if I'll be coming online or I won't be coming online. But if I have time and I'm not doing anything, I'll always be live on Sunday at 3 p.m. That's GMT, 3 p.m. GMT, and I'll be live every Sunday at 3 p.m. So I think I have to pause here, and I will be happy if you can comment on these particular topics. Are Africans the cause of our own problem, or are the Western countries, has the Western countries put up measures that are not helping Africans to develop? So I'll end here and I'll come back next week if I have and I'll put the poster. If I'll come online, I'll also decide to also put up a poster. But every Sunday at 3 o'clock, I'll be here if I have time. So please, as I said, please subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button And anytime I will upload any great content, I'll come on live, you will be notified. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.